This is part of a series of lessons that focuses on common melody patterns which you can use to improve your technique and explore the fretboard. You can find all these patterns in the free Essential Melody Patterns PDF. I'll leave a link in the description. This lesson focuses on major triad arpeggios. The patterns in this lesson use these major triad shapes here on page 23. The numbers in the diagrams are scale degrees, and these are all movable. You can play these anywhere on the fretboard you like. For example, you could look at this diagram, find your 1 on the 2nd string at the 6th fret, and we have scale degree 1, 3, and 5. Or maybe this one with your 1 at the 5th fret, 1, 3, 5, or maybe this 1 at the 7th fret. Before we get to the patterns, I'm going to briefly interrupt to let you know that I do teach private guitar lessons online, and I have several guitar books and solo arrangements available. If you're interested, check out my website. The link's in the description. In this first pattern, we're going to play scale degrees 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. That'll sound like this: 1, 3, 5, 3, and 1. What you do is you pick a key. Let's use the key of F in this lesson, and you find that F, or whatever note you chose, all over the fretboard. Use the diagrams from page 23 to play this pattern. So I could start on this F and play 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Or I could start on the same F using a different diagram with a different fingering, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. And to just find more Fs, I'm just going to work my way up the fretboard. So we've got one F here at the 6th fret. Or here at the 8th fret, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Same F, but different diagram with a different fingering. 10th fret. Different diagram, different fingering. And then here on the 6th string. And also on the 6th string. You could also just choose one diagram and then play this pattern in all keys. To make sure you don't miss a key, take yourself through the cycle of fourths, starting on C. If we do that with this diagram, we need to find a C on the 5th string. So that's going to be at the 3rd fret. And here's our 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. We're going to be using the same diagrams, so we're going to find all of our starting notes on the same string. Next in the cycle is an F. So F major, and take yourself through the cycle. B flat, E flat major, A flat, D flat, G flat or F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, and we find ourselves back on C. In this next pattern, we're going to start on the 5 and play 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. That's 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. Again, pick your key. This time we'll do the key of E. This time what we'll have to do, since we start on the 5, is first find a root note and then find the 5 relative to that. Eventually, you'll just be able to find the 5 right away, but this is the process we use until you can do that. Here's an E. Relative to that, with this diagram, here's 5. So we play 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. And then look for more E's. Again, I'm just going to work my way up the fretboard. Here's an E right here. Relative to that, here's our 5, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. Another E. Here's the 5th. Same E, but different diagram, different fingering. So now here's our fifth relative to that. Now here's another E, and here's the fifth. Same E, different diagram, different fingering. So now here's the fifth. Then here's an E on the sixth string, and then relative to that, here's our five. Another E, or I should say same E, different diagram. Here's our five. And we have one more E we can do. Here's an E. Relative to that, here's a five. As we did with the first pattern, you could just choose one diagram and play the pattern in all keys, taking yourself through the cycle of fourths, starting on C. If we use this diagram, we need to find a C on the fourth string. That's going to be right here at the 10th fret. So there's our 1. Relative to that, here's our 5. So 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. And then take yourself through the cycle of fourths. This is going to be the same diagram, so all you really need to do now is retain that same finger position, focus on your root note, on your start, and then just move it to wherever the next start is, this time F. So right there, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. Keep the same shape, focus on your root for starters. There's our B flat, and our 5 is right with our first finger. E flat major, A flat major, D flat, G flat or F sharp, whoops, B, E, A, D, G, and back to C. Our third and final pattern in this lesson begins on the 1 again. We're going to play 1, 5, 3, 1. That's 1, 5, 3, 1. That's a pretty short pattern. I'm only going to play that pattern once when I play through all these, but if you like, you could repeat it. Next, we pick a starting note. Let's use A flat this time. Find that A flat all over the fretboard. You can choose another note if you like, but use the diagrams from page 23 and play this pattern. Again, I'm going to start at the end of the fretboard and work my way up the neck. We have an A flat right here at the first fret. So scale degree 1, 5, 3, and 1. Low A flat, 1, 5, 3, 1. Different diagram, same A flat, but a different fingering. Find more A flats. Different diagram, different fingering. 9th fret, 11th fret, same A flat, but different diagram, different fingering. And last one. And just like with the others, you can choose one diagram and play this pattern in all keys, circle of fourths, starting on C. Using this diagram, we need to find a C on the 3rd string. That'll be at the 5th fret. And we play our 1, 5, 3, 1. We're going to find our notes all along the same string because it's the same diagram. Next in the cycle is an F major, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat or F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, and back to C. Remember, you can download the Essential Melody Patterns PDF for free from my website. I'll leave a link in the description. The next lesson, which is also the last lesson in this series, focuses on minor triad arpeggios. When that one's ready, I'll post a link at the end of this video. Meanwhile, for more guitar lessons, music theory, and solo guitar arrangements, please subscribe.